Today we are going to discuss few of the important questions which are surely going to occur in your exams, and the poem you very well know, that is The Road Not Taken. So I'm going to discuss all type of questions. So in 9th class, the questions which come from poems is reference to context, where they're going to give you a paragraph, maybe of 4 to 5 lines, and they're going to ask you 4 questions from that paragraph. So I think these questions are scoring, so you should try. So read the extract given below and answer the question that follows. So the first paragraph: two roads diverged in Yellowwood, and sorry, I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down once as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. So this is the first paragraph of the poem, and from this paragraph they are going to ask you 4 questions, and it could be anything. So the first question is, at which point had the poet reached? The poet is standing at a point where 2 roads diverged in the Yellowwood. And one more thing is that previously they were asking 3 questions, but the new pattern, according to new pattern, they're going to ask you 4 questions, 4 marks per question, 1 mark. So but I have included just 3 questions. So at which point had the poet reached, मतलब वो कहाँ पे पहुँचे? So the poet is standing at a point where 2 roads diverged. So you have to write the answers in your paper as it is written here. Why was the traveler feeling sorry? The poet is feeling sorry because he could not travel both the roads, because he is one traveler, so at once he can travel one road. Next, give the opposite to meet at a point from the passage. Meet at a point means diverged. At the point of diversion we are having 2 ways, so they confide there, right? Next, and both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step hotter than black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted it if I should ever come back. So the following questions are: which road does the poet choose? The poet took the second road, as it is given in the paragraph that the poet chose the second one, the other. Next, why was the poet doubtful about the first road? The poet chose the second road over the first, thinking that he would come to it other day. Yet he was very doubtful that he would ever be able to come back. Next, find the word from the extract that means crushed, means trodden. So trodden means crushed. So in such questions they can ask you antonyms and synonyms, and they're not gonna ask you difficult questions. Rather, they're just gonna give you some of the easy questions if you are good with the poem. And similarly, the third paragraph is: then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as far that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Questions are: what made the poet choose such a road? The poet chose such a road because grass has grown there and none had travelled so far on it. So poet want to be different from others, so that is why he chose the second road. What does the poet mean just as fair? Just as fair means that the other road was as beautiful as one seen earlier. So both the roads were equally the next day. That is why he chose the second one, and hence he used the word just as fair. So in exams you can't write direct answers, even though it is asked for 1 mark, so you should write complete sentence. Next question: find the phrase from the extract that mean had not been used, wanted where. It's given in the definition. Next, I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. One of the best para of this poem. Write the name of the poem and poet. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost, and such questions are usually asked for 1 mark, and I think is scoring. Why did the poet take the road which was less travelled by? The poet took the road which was less traveled by, because he wanted to be different from others in his life, and I think that's the aim of one individual. Why was the poet in dilemma? Dilemma means confusion. The poet was in a dilemma while choosing one of the T routes, because he was confused that which one he should take, because he himself don't know that where this path would lead him. That is why he was in a dilemma, he was in confusion. Now these questions can be asked for 2 marks or sometimes maybe 3 marks. Does the speaker feel that he has made the wrong choice in taking the roads less traveled by? If not, why does he sigh? What does he regret? The answer would be no. The speaker does not feel that he has made a wrong decision by taking the road less traveled. The poet wanted to explore both the roads. He tells himself that he will explore one and then come back and explore the other, but he knows that he will probably be unable to do so. Maybe it was his last chance for having a journey. That is why he might be saying that probably he may be not traveling the other one, but though he is desiring to travel the other. So I think this is the third para of the poem, and the poet wanted to explore both the roads. It is given clearly in the poem, so you have to read between the lines if you are studying a poem. The next question, was the poet doubtful or clear that he would return to take the other path which he could not do earlier? Throughout the poem and the poet's journey, he faces an archetypal dilemma. He doubts if he would ever be able to come back to take that other road which might have given him some other more lucrative options in life. The poet believes, and we all know, that one road leads to another, so going back to the original path is not easy. And yes, this is the truth of the life, and yes, the poet says the correct statement that if you're gonna choose one decision, then that decision is gonna lead you some another decision, and you have to move forward, and you can't go back easily and change your decision. So I think these difficulties, they are unavoidable. Next, where does the traveler find himself and what problem does he face? And this is one of the NCRT question, and this is one of the important. The traveler finds himself in the yellow woods at a point where the road forks into two. Forks means diverges into two. The problem that he faces is that he cannot decide which road to take to continue his journey, since it is not possible for him to travel both the roads at the same time, as I have repeated this line many times. Discuss what these phrases mean to you, and this is again a NCRT question, though this question can't be asked in your exams, but just for your reference. A yellow wood, it was grassy and wanted wear. Third, the passing there. Then, leaves no step had trodden black, how way leads on to way. So first one is yellowwood. So yellowwood symbolizes the autumn season. Autumn corresponds with old age. The poet could be symbolically talking about the later stages of life, or yellowwood may be a forest where there is autumn. The second one is it was grassy and wanted wear. So it means it conveys that the road was full of grass and nobody has used that road. That is why it might be grassy. Otherwise, people might be traveling and they might be destroying the greenery. It was a smooth road which had not worn out. Third one is the passing there. The use of path by the passers-by means we people. Fourth is that leaves no step had trodden black. The leaves had not changed their color and turned black because of less people stepping on them. It could represent a path one may have never seldom taken in life for the fear of uncertainty. If we are not going to choose this path, it means that we are with a motive, or we might be knowing the reason that why we are not traveling. Either the way must be strange, or something or the other reason would be there. Then last one, how way leads on to way. This phrase means how certain decision one makes in life could pave the way for many other decisions. And if the question is if the examiner asks you a question that what could be the central idea, maybe the theme, you should write this line for sure, because this question is going to give you a good impression of about yours, and you may score well. And yes, we have done many important questions, and that's the end of the poem. So we have completed the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost.